Hey, Ho Squad and Ho Nation. How are you doing? How's life treating you? I hope the week has been going well. Y'all, why had I been thinking? Listen, clearly I want this week to be over because today I've been thinking it was Thursday all day. Like, literally, I was looking at attendance for students, looking like, why isn't there any attendance up for Thursday? And then I had to go, girl, it's Wednesday. Don't you hate that feeling when you like skipping a day and you just ready for the weekend? Because I'm going to see Maxwell on Friday. So I was like, yeah, okay. But anyway, anywho, how are you? Welcome, welcome. If you are a new person visiting, welcome. I'm glad to see you. My name is LuuLuu of the Perfume Ho. And for you regular schmegulars, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all, hey girl, hey, how y'all doing? What up, boy? Because I know some of y'all gonna be watching too. Because this is roses. We are talking roses right now. Roses for spring. I got the uncommon roses. That's what I'm calling it. The uncommon, we know the underrated, the not so hyped roses. Let's talk about them. Okay, so let's talk about Rose first off. We know Rose is the queen of flowers, right? This is the queen. She's at the top. Rose has been around. Now, let's just have a moment. I got to be my usual self. Before we get started, if you have any of these roses, please make sure you talk about them in the comments. And if you have other roses that you would like to share with people, to say, y'all, look, you might want to look into these, put that in the comments too. Do not gatekeep. Let's not gatekeep, because I'm not gatekeeping y'all. Okay, so let's talk about rose. First off, I am a floral person. For the people, my regulars, you know that I love florals. I love that soft girliness. I really do. So for me, this is not a trend, because I know, we talked about the trends, and the trends were floral this year, and rose was one of the top trend florals. So you're seeing all these rose fragrances coming out, and you're seeing people who really aren't into florals talk about them. Okay, fine. So of course, I'm not coming with the roses that you're hearing about, the Louboutin. We're not going to talk about Flores. I'm not talking about any of those. Not to say that not to say that I'm not interested in them, and not to say that they're not good, because they might be. But you can watch 50,000 videos about them. So I want to give you all some different choices, some that might be a lot more less expensive than those. But so this is my roses. Now, understand, these are spring summer roses for me. Because I am such a rose lover, I have different iterations of rose, right? So I'm noticing like some of the roses I wouldn't even wear now, that people are talking about, because they're not my spring summer roses. Roses for me in the spring and summer are about green, fresh, light ones. Think a la Rose by MFK, because that's one of the ones everybody talk about, because I don't know. Anyway, so these roses will be lighter, because they're more like the roses you're going to find outside in the garden. They have that wateriness, that freshness about them. For if you looking for incensey, sweeter roses, I look at those as fall and winter roses. And if I remember, I will put it in the cards. I probably won't. So I'm just saying, if it's not in here first time, but how about this? I do have rose videos, so feel free to search my content for rose videos, and you'll find a plethora of them. So there's a couple that you might have heard of. Quite a few of them, I'm sure, will probably be newer to your, knowing about them. So let's talk about rose. Okay, so what I'm going to start out with are the ones that you probably know about, heard about if you watch videos, because they've been around. Now, they might not be super popular right now, but they've been around. So, you know, you'd be like, yeah, I got that one. I got that one. So the first one we're going to talk about is this classic. And I'll be honest with you, baby, when I smelled this the first time, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, yes, honey, yes. And this is Roses Musk by Montal. Now, this is just a simple vibe. This is rose, musk, and jasmine. The jasmine is that's the notes they tell you. The jasmine is very subtle. It's not a super strong jasmine. This is truly a rose musk fragrance. This is classic. You could spray this on with abandon. You know, you would smell like a spring garden. You would just be lovely in this one. So this is Roses Musk. All right, next up, this is not one of the most popular, but this is Roses on Ice by Killian. This is a Killian. So, of course, a lot of people have heard of this one. Might have tried it out when it first came out. This is not a popular one. Now, it has a lot of notes. It's got cucumber, juniper berries, lime, violet leaf, pink pepper, rose, ozonic notes, musk, sandalwood, ambroxan, and cedar. But you really have to like cucumber because it is heavy on the cucumber. It gives you this cucumber rose vibe. And honestly, that's one of my favorite, like cucumber and rose is so pretty to me. So, you know, all those other things, the lime gives it a little zestiness. And then, of course, that musk and that ambroxan, and the sandalwood really give it this nice base that's really gorgeous. So even though it has all these other notes, what it really comes off of as a really kind of aquatic, ozonic, you know, airy cucumber rose, musky cucumber rose, which is real pretty to me. I love it. So that is Roses on Ice. All right, next up is Acqua di Parma's Rosen No. Now, it has a bunch of notes. It says mandarin, orange, pepper, bergamot, rose, peony, violet, lily of the valley, musk, cedar, and ambergris. But honestly, this is just a really fresh, beautiful green rose. When I smell it, I really don't get like the mandarin orange and the pepper, because pepper does not do well on my skin most of the time. I usually, especially when it's like a black pepper, it smells like somebody just sprinkled me with pepper. It's not that. It's very subtle, but what it is like that peony and rose. That's always a good combination. So it's a fresh, airy, gorgeous, just green rose. This is like something you could just, if you are a person who likes fragrances, but you don't like them to be overwhelming, you're not trying to like call attention to yourself. You ain't trying to have everybody like turning their head like, what are you wearing? But you want to smell lovely. You want to smell gorgeous. Rosen No is the one you want. All right. Now, this one, I'm not sure if it's still available, but this is what I always call my summer Rose Oud. So if I wanted to wear something like a little oudie vibe and things like that, this would be the one. This is Royal Rose Oud by Micallef. Now, first off, the bottle, the pink, just call my name. So it has notes of blackcurrant and saffron, rose oud, white musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. So this is now let me say the oud in here is very subtle. It's a very lightweight oud. It's not super skanky. It's not super heavy. It's as light and airy as this juice looks. So the rose is very light. It's a summer rose. So it's giving you the summer rose vibe. And then you've got the woodiness and that muskiness, which roses and musk, they just go together. And in the beginning, you do get a little spicy juiciness, but it really is very mild. It isn't like this juicy black currant, like some things would be. No, this is a more rose musk with that little hint of oud, just a little hint of oud when it comes down to the woodiness. So this is a lovely summer rose with a little woody, musky, like a little more edginess to it. So this is Royal Rose Oud by Micallef. All right. This one came out. No one talked about it. This is the Girl of Now Flanker Rose Petal. Now, of course, you know, this isn't one of those super popular designer brands. It's not in Ulta and all those things, so people can't run out and try them. But this, I think I'm gonna have to revisit my old Girl of Now and do a new video for them because I have all of them. I need to actually get the original again, but that's another story. Shut up, Louise. Okay. So anyway, right here we have Girl of Now Rose Petal. Just throw out the Girl of Now DNA. I'm just saying this right now. Throw it out because this has nothing to do with it. So this is peach mandarin and Szechuan pepper with rose magnolia, white musk, and blonde woods. So it comes off a little sweeter, a little fruitier. So I think this is a little bit fruitier rose, but it's still just as pinky as this is. So it's a pink rose. And another good combination is rose and magnolia, like my Magnolia Rose by Maison Lancome. So this is, those play really well together. Once again, a fresh, beautiful green airy rose, and then you have the musk and the woods. So the woods are blonde, so which means they're not as heavy, which this is a nice lightweight vibe. It is really giving you pretty girl summertime, springtime brunches. We're going to get our pedicures and we're just living our best life. We're meeting up. We're going to meet up at the nail salon, get our pedicures, go have lunch, go have a nice little girl talk. This is Girl of Now Rose Petal. All right, next one is this. This is Rendezvous of Paris by Montal. Now, first off, I really like this bottle because they actually did something with it. It's not just like the plain Montal, because these are ugly bottles. But at least since you've given me this, metal bottle, could we zhuzh it up? Could we make it look a little cuter? So this is Rendezvous of Paris. The notes to this are pear, rhubarb, rose, patchouli, white flowers, ginger, musk, solar, powdery notes, vanilla, and ambergris. Now, for me, let me just tell you, you do get that sharpness from the rhubarb. The pear gives us some sweetness, but it's really giving you, so it's like a sweet sharpness that rhubarb does. You do get that rhubarb sharpness. And then the ginger, really, I don't really get that. What I get is this gorgeous sharp rose, and as it dries down it becomes powdery and musky, but the rose continues. And of course, as a Montal, this actually, let me be honest, this is one of the not powerhouse Montals. It still lasts, it still projects, but it's just not as strong as a lot of the Montals are. So this is a little more close to the skin. It's a little less bombastic as a lot of Montals are. So it's woody. It's got that woody, musky vibe. The patchouli is not too much because we know I couldn't wear it because me and patchouli, it has to be just a subtle patchouli. Can't be too much. So this is and if you see the rhubarb, let me just say this. It is in that Delina-esque in the beginning. Let me put that out there because it does have the rhubarb. And if you smell it, somebody's going to go, that smells like Delina. Okay. It has some similarities. She is like a third cousin. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sister. It's not a twin. Definitely it's not a twin. It's not a sister. It ain't even a first cousin. Just about second or third cousin. So there's a little, you can still see the family resemblance, but it's real like mild. So this is Rendezvous of Paris. All right, next up is Merchant of Venice, Rosa Mochanija. I think that's how you say it. It has notes of rose, Sicilian bergamot, cassis. Then it has rose again, magnolia, pink lotus, rose again. So there's rose on every level of this scent: musk, vanilla absolute, amber, and white cedar. So this is a heavy rose, not heavy in the style of rose, but it is definitely, you're going to smell that rose throughout the length of this fragrance. So as opposed to some where the rose becomes a little more subtle, no. This is straight in your face rose. So you're going to get that rose. But like I said, this is a green, fresh rose. Now, it comes off a little juicy sweet in the beginning because of the bergamot and the cassis. But once again, that rose and magnolia combination is just divine. And then as it dries down, this one stays a little sweeter because it has that vanilla and that amber. So it becomes like, so it's a little more weighty than some of these because of the sweetness. So it's a little sweeter because of the vanilla and the amber at the bottom, but you still have this just gorgeous rose. It is one that's a little more elevated. Like some of these are a little more simple roses, like roses musk, things like that. This is a little more elevated. This is giving you Italian. This is giving you, we're wearing our Italian designer vibes and we are out, living our best life in Italy. I'm about to go have some gelato with friends as we discuss the day and we get prepared to go have a nice little evening, a nice little evening time at restaurant where we are just going to be living our best life, eating pasta, not gaining any weight, and smelling like this gorgeous rose, Rosa Mochaniga. All right, from one of my favorite houses, Serge Luton, La Fille Tour de Fer. Now, there is another one, La Fille de Berlin, the first one. I still think I want to get that one because it is a rose. But this rose right here it's only got Turkish rose, Bulgarian rose, pink pepper, and iris. So this does come off very spicy. It's that pepper gives it a spiciness and it's pretty prominent, but it really is a powdery rose. It's giving you, as opposed to musk, this leans more into the powdery side with the iris, and it's a spicy powdery rose. I just got this last year. I was wearing it. I love it. It is just, this is one of those just easy, when we say easy reach, you don't have to think too hard. This was one of my summer easy reaches with Rosa Mochaniga last year because I got them last year, if I'm not mistaken. I was wearing the heck out of this because it just really was just like a refreshing, easy breezy. Like if we were running out, I kept this on my desk. So like sometimes it was like, come on, we got to go to the store. Come on, we got to drop the kids off at daycare. We're going to run some errands. I would put this on. Because it was just, I just felt like, hey, I smell good, but I seem a little effortless, but I still got a chicness to me. That was La Fille Tour de Fer. Okay, next up is Jaya by Anelise. Now, Anelise is a small woman-owned company, and so this was a gift to me, and I'm so glad they gave it to me. So this is peach bergamot cloves. It's got Bulgarian rose, peach, then orris and purple. So really what it is, it's a peachy rose. Got a little spice. That cloves gives it a little spice, a little warmth to it. But it's a nice peachy rose. It's so just fun and fresh and flirty for this time of year. This is like another one. Like if you notice, this whole group is very much about the lightness of rose, the, just fun, flirty playfulness of rose, as opposed to my deep, dark, mysterious, sexy, over the top roses. These are a little easy breezy. They're giving you playfulness. They're giving you flirtiness without the whole, in your face of some of my roses. So this is a peachy rose. Y'all, this is so pretty. So if you want a peachy rose, and now this is a fresh peach. It's not like talking about, peach cobblerish kind of vibe. No, this is like biting into a peach and rose. So that is Anelise Jaya. All right, next up is Flores' A Rose 4. This is actually older than I thought it was. I didn't know this came out in 2016, so this has been around for a minute. Okay, so the notes for this is black tea, Darjeeling black tea, incense, red rose oud, tuberose orris, cedar, amber, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla. Now that sounds like a really heavy rose. So I wanted to give y'all something that was was a little different, wasn't just super watery. I wanted to give y'all a cup. This one is one of the ones that's gonna give you a little different, right? This one, now this is definitely giving you Rose Oud, but it's not as heavy as some of my Rose Ouds. It does have this incensey, oudy rose vibe, right? The black tea for me, I don't really get it. I'm just, somebody else might get it, I don't. But really what it gives me is like this kind of powdery, woody rose, common rose, a incensey rose. The reason why I put it here is because it's not as heavy. It's not as light as Royal Rose Oud, but so this would be a nighttime rose for like spring and summer nights, cooler nights, not heavy heat nights. This would be those type of date nights. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's giving you that kind of mysterious, incensey, oudy rose, right? That we know that genre, but it is a little bit. Maybe the tea is giving that to me along with the amber and everything. It isn't quite as heavy as some, so it's perfect for this time of year because it's going to play off the warmth, not too hot, just a little warmth, where it's nice and where you could be out and there's a breeze. And so it's going to give you a little more mystery, a little more sultry, exotic vibe. So this is why I put this one in, because it'll give you that. It's giving that kind of vibe that's kind of more my winter vibe, but this is like a spring summer version of it. So this is a Rose 4 by Flores. All right, next up is this little beauty by my girl Monique from Sugar Mama. This is Feminine Muse. This is one of her newer fragrances, and I have been loving it because if you can see, I'm already putting a dent in it. She getting a little dented. I've been wearing this a lot lately. So this is black currant and rose, and I think musk. Okay, I done messed up my top. Yeah, I keep pulling it and shaking it around, and so I've done something to this top, and I'm gonna just put it on me. So I did something to this particular top. Okay, so yes, it is like this kind of juicy, fruity rose, black curranty rose. Oh, with a little musk. Oh, baby, this is so good. This is screaming girly, honey. This is screaming a girly. Okay, if you are in a girly mood and want to smell like a kind of fruity floral, you want a fruity floral that's just over the top rose and fruit, this is a good one. Feminine Muse by Sugar Mama. And of course, I'm gonna end it with my boy. And the only reason why Khye Fragrances isn't in here is because he doesn't have any roses right now. JC, I'm gonna need you to take care of that. I'm gonna send him a message. You got some rose coming out? Because I need a new rose from you, sir. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some Dreamhouse Ikiryo. I actually should post up a short of all the roses, but anyway, this first one is going to be Blush of Dawn. Blush of Dawn is gorgeous. Blush of Dawn is 2 notes that he tells you, which is watermelon and rose, and that's what you smell. It gives you this really okay, besides it being a fresh rose, because I call this Blush of Dawn, it is a morning rose. If you want to wear a rose in the morning, you just want to throw one on, this is a great one. Now, it is exactly what it says, watermelon and roses. So you get this watermelon, and it's not a candy watermelon. It's a juicy, fruity watermelon with rose. That's it. That's all. And it's delightful to me. It's like watermelon juice and roses. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And now this one, this is my latest one. Now I have other roses, of course. If you know, I have other ones, but those are a little darker. This one right here, Melano. This is one he just came out with, and he says this is a evening rose. I beg to differ. I call this a brunch rose. This is going to brunch. It has this effervescence to it, which is very, gives it this bubbly, almost champagne quality to it, which is why I say it's a brunch rose, because it doesn't come off as dark and mysterious. What it comes off of as date nights. This is like day dates rose, because it's got this flirty playfulness with that, and it's got some fruit in it. I cannot remember all the notes, but it has like a fruitiness to it and this rose, and then it's got this like bubbly champagne vibe to it. So it's perfect for a day date, a brunch date, a lunch date. And this would be perfect for like first dates or so. You know, something that's like you're just meeting somebody, because it'll be nice and flirty, but it won't be too much like you trying, like, so they won't get the impression, just in case it don't work out, it won't be too much that they'll think, oh, she really want me, when really you like, it was a nice little lunch and date and everything, but I got to keep it moving, partner. So that's why I say this is a day date fragrance. And if you're with somebody, they will love this, because it'll be like, ooh, you smell just so perfect for this day. You know, it's giving you perfect for a beautiful day. You know, we're now into spring and summer, and we think day dates, you know, rooftop cocktails, day dates, because I like those too, where you're going to have a nice light lunch. You're going to be on the rooftop having a few cocktails, but they're very just, you know, not too much. Because let me tell you, when I'm out and I'm not thinking too hard, a nice little vodka tonic with a twist of lime. And then, you know, something that's kind of, for me, because I'm not a huge fruity drinker, but, you know, maybe have a nice little martini, a good martini on a rooftop, you know, or having, you know, going on a day date, and it's a beautiful day and you're sitting outside as opposed to being inside the restaurant. You're sitting out on the patio and you're just vibing with each other. And then this will be radiating off of you. Melano, day dates, perfect. So that is that. All right. I have given you 12 uncommon roses. I hope that if you have, like I said, if you have them, let me know. But I hope I've given you a few, since rose is having a comeback right now. I hope I gave you some interesting roses to think about trying. Some of these will be on the decant list that's coming out, and if so, you might be able to get a decant of one or two of these. We'll see. And anyway, as always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free, smell lovely, spray with abandon, and don't let anybody tell you you're doing too much.